visits, she would play the guitar and sing Cuban songs, Cuban melodies, and sort of wrap up the visit with her singing. Yes.
This one is Juan del Águila with her in my little apartment in the basement on Christmas time, the first time in Pueblo, first year. I cook for everybody, and then we celebrate Christmas.
It was just a very lonesome time. So she particularly took on a very important role in our life there. And then afterwards, because we've had reunions and we keep in touch, and there's a bond that was created that nobody will be able to break or anything.
To tell you the truth, I don't know that I was mature enough at the time, even 12, 13, 14, to realize the radical change that we had gone through. It had a decisive and irreversible impact not only on our lives and that of our families, but indeed on an entire community and nation.
This is a Cuban-American story. It's an immigrant story. And it's a story of displacement and a story of having to start over again and longing for your home and where you come from.
When I left there, we were told we were going to Miami. I thought it was a vacation, you know. I was 5.5 years old, so they never said, you know, we're leaving Cuba, we're never coming back, and there's an adventure aspect. There's many kids in Pedro Pan who never saw their families again. Some of their families were then imprisoned and gone to jail, and they were separated for life. In the case of Angela, you know, she didn't come here and say, oh, now I can sing. Or no, she had to pick tomatoes, she had to do whatever she had to do, along with her husband and that generation, to immediately make do for their family. It wasn't a question of, oh, I don't want to do that kind of job. It's like, what's the job that's open today, and I will do it.
I went to a place that they have a beautiful garden. When I see the flower, different color, different size, I compare the flower to my children. I promised to myself giving them more attention and more love than before for the separation that we have, that they miss me and I miss them. And then I compose a song, En mi jardín.
En mi jardín tengo rosas, crece también el clavel, allí vuelan mariposas.
And Mi Jardín, which is in my garden, it's more of like a song and a bolero. It has that kind of ballad dance feel, but some of the percussion's playing more of a song tradition. And then towards the end here, we break into a full-on song right here.
Through a contact in Miami, Angela managed to get a letter to the president of Mexico. She begged him to help get her husband out of Cuba. The president intervened, and Orlando was sent to a sugar mill in Mexico.
We received a call from my husband from Mexico. When the telephone ring, I talk with my husband. I cry a lot. Emotion, because he gave me security to me because I was living by myself. And then he told me when I want to talk with the children. And then each children talked to him, my daughter, everybody was crying. Everybody was crying.
That triggered the thing that we were going to leave eventually the orphanage, because now my father is able to support the family.
I'll never forget that day, and it was a very emotional day. We rode the train from Pueblo, Colorado to Mexico, and he met us in Mexico City.
My husband was waiting for me in Mexico, in the station, and it was a very, very beautiful moment to see each other.
So how long did all of that take?
Oh, it takes about 2 years.
As the show date approaches, rehearsals move to a live studio in California.
This song was another one that I got to really, through talking about it with her and working with her on this song, I got to experience her love for my grandfather.
Tú me enseñaste a sentir.
You know, it's so poetic and it's so romantic and beautiful. My father has a very romantic voice, and we kind of agreed this would be a great song for him to sing.
Contigo lo aprendí. That's a take.
Qué lindo.
Reunited at last, the Alvarez family then followed Orlando to sugar mills around Central America.
My father, he told us that he wanted to leave Mexico and come to the United States. He gets a job in a sugar mill called Talisman, an hour and a half from Miami. So we moved to Miami.
He was a program on radio in a station in Miami that in the morning they say, if you wanna sing and be a star, you can enroll in that program. And one day I called. It was in the morning, I was in the kitchen. My children was at school, my husband was at work. And then I sing it and I won the first prize. And then the man told me, well, next step is you are going to sing in a car. And then one day, my husband come early from the sugar Talisman, and I told him, I be disobedient with you because I did something that I know you are not going to like it. And he was looking at me, well, please tell me what you did. I went to singing in a place and I told him everything. And he told me, well, it was okay what you did, but nightclub? No, you don't sing in the nightclub. I just stopped.
A year and a half, he got a word that there was an opening in Louisiana in a sugar mill called Texas. So we moved to Louisiana to a little town called White Castle.
So when I became American citizen, when the ceremony finished, the judge come and give to each couple American flag. And then he asked, well, I want to ask you a question. During the ceremony, all the time you was smile. You have to have a big reason. Yes, I have a big reason. You know what? Before, I'm a Cuban lady who don't speak English. But now I am an American who speaks a fluent Spanish.
The Alvarez family finally settled down to make their life in Louisiana. But then news came that Orlando was ill.
He smoked a lot and then he had cancer in the lung. He died 53, very young. Well, when my husband died, I was living here in that house, thinking in my husband how going to be my life because I'm walking without, I didn't know where I go. And then I composed a song, Camino sin rumbo. That I walk without, I didn't know where I go. Yeah. sin rumbo, qué pena me da. Camino sin rumbo, no puedo encontrar. Yo busco consuelo, yo busco la paz, camino serena por toda la faz. It takes time to boil the water to come up. Many people ask me why I didn't marry again when I became widow. Because I promised to the Lord that I want to be a good mother with them. The rest of my life that I'm going to be alive, I'm going to dedicate to them. There are my 4 children when they was around 5 months. Jose, Marucha, Orlando, and Bobby. My daughter Marucha, well, her name is Maria, but we call her Marucha. When she lived in Spain, she told me that she don't like Maria. I like, in Spain, people call people Marucha, Carmucha. When she was preparing her wedding, she told me, Mother, do you think you can compose a song to me about my wedding? And she said, I wanted that you sing in my wedding. I said, okay, for that day, I could do it. Because when I saw her walking, I started to play the song, but I can't because I started to cry. I could sing it in the church. Yes.